Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the co-stars that have spoken out about Justin Baldoni in the past and what it was like to work with him, because he has been on other things before. It Ends With Us is not his first rodeo. Now, for this being said, there are some clips I'm also going to show you, but most of these are going to be from the TV show Jane the Virgin, which honestly I love that show. But I'm going to be showing you what they have said about him in the past, but none of these statements have been recent. Now, I think the reason that these have not been recent is because everyone is afraid to speak out in favor of Justin Baldoni because of the complaints that Blake Lively had made and the power that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds hold in the industry. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think that a lot of people wanted to speak out like they did for Blake Lively, with the potential of getting backlash and getting thrown into the mix of that. I could be wrong. You can let me know what you think. But we are going to look at what these co-stars have said in the past, because that tells us a lot about what it is to work with Justin Baldoni, and it's not just taking it from Blake Lively's side. So we're going to look at that. Before I continue, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the updates, news, tea, gossip, updates on this specific case, the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively lawsuit. I cover it all on here, so make sure the subscribe button. We just hit 500 subscribers, woohoo! But our next goal is 1,000 subscribers. So help me reach that goal. As soon as I reach that goal, I think I can start monetizing, which means I'm going to be pushing out more videos. So hit the subscribe button so I can be here and you can be along with the ride with me. Let's get started and let's dive into what they have said. All of this that I have gotten so far is from US Weekly. I'll let you know if I have something from somewhere else. All right, let's get into it. So let me start this off by saying that with the It Ends With Us crew and cast, that there are claims that other crew members had issues with Justin Baldoni, but no one has spoken out about issues with him publicly. People have spoken out about Blake Lively and what it was like to work with her and how much they enjoyed her, but no one has spoken out to talk about how much they did not like Justin Baldoni or did not like working with him, like publicly. No one has come out about that, but it is stated in the lawsuit. I will put it here on the screen. I'm going to read it for you. That some of them said that they had issues with working with him, but again, no one has come forward to say that. It just says anonymous. That's all it says. It says anonymous. In Lively's lawsuit, it claims that a handful of other female cast and crew working on It Ends With Us has vocalized complaints about Baldoni. As a result of Mr. Baldoni's behavior, on May 29th, 2023, another cast member logged a sexual harassment complaint about Mr. Baldoni's gross and unwanted comments towards her and others. The filing reads, none of the colleagues have publicly revealed their identities. So far, the only public identity we know about this is Blake Lively. Obviously, we know a lot about that because of the complaint and now lawsuit she has filed in New York City. But I think it is important that no one has come forward to talk about that and admit that they're the ones that filed that complaint, but that Blake Lively said someone did. Just my opinion. So let's start looking into the people that actually spoke about Justin Baldoni in a positive manner from the show Jane the Virgin. The first one is going to be Gina Rodriguez, which is one of the main co-stars that Justin Baldoni worked with. She was the main character in Jane the Virgin. She was Jane. She was it. And so she spoke out about what it was like to work with him. Again, everything that I'm going to say, I'm going to put on the screen so you can see it for yourself as well. And then we will look at it together. It says, after the series wrapped up, they remained close, with Baldoni even officiating a 2019 wedding to Joe. In an Instagram post from the ceremony, she called Baldoni her soul brother. Nearly 5 years later, Rodriguez opened up to US Weekly about their friendship and her hopes to get him on her Shaquille O'Neal's Lucky 13 game show. Justin is super busy, but Justin is also one of my closest friends and we talk all the time, Rodriguez exclusively told us in August of 2024. So that was pretty recent. I could get him to come. I could get him to come on the show. Now, I think that's really telling that he actually officiated their wedding, and I will put a picture of that here if I can find it. I'm also going to put some pictures of them when they were younger. It looks like they were very, very close, and that last comment was from August of 2024, which was pretty recent, which means they are still close, they still talk, and she still has no issue with Justin. And she was the main character. This is like Blake Lively to It Ends With Us, Jane the Virgin. That's kind of like what it equals, okay? And there were also intimate scenes on Jane the Virgin as well. If you watch the show, they were half of a couple, if that makes sense. Just go watch the show. It's so good. But they were close. There were intimate scenes with them as well. So the next one we're going to be talking about is Yael Go Gloss. If I said that wrong, I am super sorry. This was actually Raphael's wife in Jane the Virgin. Also had intimate scenes with him, and she worked very closely with him. Now, these comments are back from 2015. I'll put them here on the screen for you so you can see them themselves. And it said that I think we started filming and just had a wonderful time. She recalls during 2015 Press Junkie from the CW telenovela. Baldoni has also stayed in touch with her since the series wrapped. In fact, Israel performer and their co-star Brett Dyer watched It Ends With Us in theaters on August of 2024. Genuine friend Justin Baldoni made a phenomenal film. I cried an embarrassing amount and tried to hide it, but probably failed. She gushed via Instagram. I am so proud of you and I love you, friend. Baldoni replied at the time writing, this makes my heart burst. I love you so much. And I will put that Instagram post on here as well. The next one we're going to talk about is Brett Dyer, which also worked very closely with Justin Baldoni in Jane the Virgin as well. Now, he was also on the podcast Man Enough, which Justin Baldoni is part of. Now, if you remember, back when this started, Justin Baldoni's co-host actually resigned from working on Man Enough with him. I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but I'll try to find her and put a picture here. She posted a post resigning essentially from doing Man Enough. Now, this is exactly what he said, and if I find the clip of the podcast, I will put it next after I read this to you. He said, we had a lot of good times on the show together, Dyer said during a November 2023 episode of Baldoni's Man Enough podcast. Honestly, it was great because Justin let me be myself fully, and that's why I had such a great time with you. The second I was like, oh, I can joke with this guy and be an idiot, I was like, I love him, because that's all we really want, right, in people who make us feel like we can be ourselves. Justin really made me feel like I could be myself, which I think is very telling, and this was in 2023 as well. So also pretty recently, November of 2023, not too long after It Ends With Us was being filmed.
Like for you to be working with someone who at least appeared outwardly that he had it all together?
Well, honestly, it was great because Justin let me be myself fully. And that's why it's like, I had such a great time with you. The second I was like, oh, I can joke with this guy and be an idiot, I was like, I love him. Like this, because that's all we really want, right? Is people to make you feel like you can be yourself. And Justin really made me feel like I could be myself. So, yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, you say that about me, but I was the one that was having private feelings about Brett. I had quit acting for a few years before Jane the Virgin came along, just to focus on directing. And I was starting to build what we are doing now with Wayfair Studios. And I never really felt like I was a great actor because I was always cast in roles based on how I looked. And then I got this role, and here we were shooting the pilot. I hadn't acted in a couple years. And I was like watching the scenes with Brett and Gina's like a savant actress who's just like...
The next we're going to talk about is Haley Richardson, which actually worked with him in 2019's 5 Feet Apart. And she had to say about him, she said, I know Justin for a while and watched his viral marriage proposal video to his wife Emily as my introduction. Richard recalled to Access Hollywood in March of 2019. Brett came home and he was like, this guy is too good to be true. I like him, but you have to watch this. First, I was like, okay, Justin, and then actually got into it and cried a lot. If I can find that viral clip of this proposal, I will put it here.
I have a whole bunch I want to say. I love you. I love you so much. You inspire everything. There's our family.
So the next one that's actually spoken out about working with Justin Baldoni is Cole Sprouse, and he worked on Rachel Lippincott via novel of the same name about 2 teenage cystic fibrosis patients. And this is what he had to say. I think a lot of my nerves had been cleared after I met Justin. When we're talking on an illness like cystic fibrosis, the nature of the film industry might be to romanticize it in a way that would do a disservice to the community, Spruce told in 2019. Justin, as a director and individual, has had so much experience with the cystic fibrosis community and had so much passion for the community for so long that he eased a lot of those fears. I knew he would bring awareness to cystic fibrosis and do that justice. He added, as an actor, we had to put a lot of faith into people because we're often seen bound by the writing direction or parts of the production cycle we have nothing to do with. Justin knew exactly what he wanted and we were on the same page. Now, I feel like that one speaks a lot to Justin Baldoni as a director and not just a co-star, because it sounds like to me he had a lot to do with the directing in that as well and really listened to what they wanted and really took the cystic fibrosis part of that and really did it justice, at least according to Cole. And I think that is very telling about the whole part of him being the director of It Ends With Us as well, because it sounds like in his lawsuit that Blake Lively tried to take over that to the point where he didn't even get say of the final cut. And I've also heard people say they would love to see It Ends With Us final cut Justin Baldoni style and see what the movie difference would be between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And I think that's an excellent idea. I think they should come out with a It Ends With Us Justin Baldoni finished product type of movie so that we can compare the two. I think that would be great. But that is from Cole Sprouse, and I'm really glad, or Cole Sprouse, and I'm really glad he spoke up about him as a director, because that is very telling for us. That is all that I have for you in this video today. Let me know what you think in the comment section of this video. Hit that like button if you found this informative, and share this to someone that would also be interested. Don't forget to subscribe. We are at 500 subscribers. We're trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark so we can start monetizing, and it would be greatly appreciated if you could please hit that subscribe button and help us reach that main goal. I appreciate you watching through the whole thing and being here with us, and until next time, love you, bye!